Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On the program today, the Nigerian Army clears successfully insurgents in Kareto in Borno as Army Chief escapes ambush along Bama Road. Pengasyn asks federal government to ensure supply of crude to Port Harcourt refinery as facility increases production amidst scarcity of PMS. And Abuja State Environmental Protection Agency to jail offenders of sanitation laws as new task force commenced operations in the southeast state. And we begin with a very dramatic story from the northeast where the acting general officer commanding GOC, the 7th Division Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Victor Ezugu, has escaped an attack on his convoy by suspected Boko Haram terrorists. A statement issued by the acting director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Usman, says General Ezugu was embarking on a trip to Bama at about 8:30 a.m. this morning, where he'd intended to visit the troops there. The statement adds that although one soldier was killed and 2 others were injured, the troops were able to clear the ambush, killing some of the terrorists and recovering vehicles and weapons from them. Colonel Usman says that the recovered items include a Toyota vehicle, 2 AK-47 rifles, and several rounds of ammunition. According to the statement, the acting GOC has continued his operational visit to Bama, while the body of the late soldier and the wounded have been evacuated to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Meanwhile, the troops have restored normalcy to Kareto town in northern Borno state after repelling the prolonged attack on the town by the extremist Boko Haram sect. The army had on Monday announced that the Nigerian troops were engaged in a heavy gunfight with members of the terror group. The army says that the troops successfully repelled the attack and killed quite a number of terrorists after nearly 10 hours of battle. Kareto is 120 kilometers north of Maiduguri, and Monday's attack by Boko Haram came at a time the Nigerian military is intensifying its onslaught on the terrorist group.
The situation is cool and calm because no sooner than the Boko Haram terrorist attacks, we called for reinforcement from troops from 7th Division as well as the Nigerian Air Force, and they rose to the occasion. The insurgents were routed out, quite a number of them were killed, and unfortunately 2 officers and 22 soldiers sustained various degrees of injuries, and they have been evacuated to military hospitals in Maiduguri.
Meanwhile, soldiers of the Guards Brigade in the Nigerian Army have arrested 92 herdsmen in Abuja, the nation's capital. The Assistant Director, Army Public Relations of the Guard Brigade, Captain Bashir Jajira, says that 36 of the suspects were arrested by the troops at a military checkpoint between the Federal Capital Territory and Nasarawa State. The suspected herdsmen were said to have told the soldiers they were on a mission to recover their stolen cows. Captain Jajira says 56 others who were also armed were arrested by the soldiers at a military checkpoint at Dantata along the Abuja Airport Road. He said that the troops recovered 1 pump-action shotgun, 19 cartridge Dane guns, 118 cartridge ammo, 28 cutlasses, 3 jackknives, 14 sticks, 7 torchlights, a certificate of occupancy, assorted native charms, and hard drugs. According to the Army spokesman, all those arrested will be handed over to the police for prosecution. And staying with security issues, in the north-central region, security operatives have banned the movement of cattle and herdsmen after 7 p.m. in Riyam, Barakinladi, Mangu, and just south local government areas of the capital. Operation Safe Haven Commander Major General Tagwo Ude made the announcement during the town hall meeting with community leaders, village heads and others of the affected communities as part of security measures to maintain law and order.
Community leaders, village heads and youth leaders of Berken Ladi, Riom, Mangu and Jos South local government areas are in a town hall meeting put together by Operation Safe Haven, the special task force maintaining peace and order in Plateau and parts of Bauchi states. Top of the agenda at the meeting is the return of internally displaced persons from both the Birom and Fulani settlements, as well as looking into the issue of maintaining peace between the cattle rearers and farmers, especially during the rainy season.
Village heads have a very big role to play in the return of IDPs, because most of the village heads know the history of various portions within their domain. I don't know, none of my soldiers know, except the soldiers from that area. Even if he's from that area, he's too young to know the history. So that is why I said that the village heads, district heads, adults will have a big role to play in this stage we are. And I appeal to you people to do everything with God in mind. Don't side anybody.
During the interactive session, community leaders say they are concerned on issues of internally displaced persons returning to their homes, as assurances were provided for such an event to commence.
We have set up a 7-man committee, and the local government chairman has inaugurated the committee. We want to sit down with the herders and his men to work out the modalities of them coming back, because most of them that have land there, they have sold it. Let me be clear, they have sold their land. So we want them to come back, but let us find out the modalities of them coming to stay involved.
The Argo Vong is here, see him, but he is not staying in the area, sir. But these Fulanis that are in Vong, even the chairman, Mieti Allah, Ashimu, where are you? He went out. They are not living there again. So let's allow them to come back, and they will identify those that were there, and then they will work with them to see peace us.
While allaying fears expressed on the destruction of newly built houses of returning displaced persons, the commander says that security operatives will protect such structures as it reads the right act to such perpetrators.
I want to make it categorically clear that any cow we see grazing anything after 7 p.m., we will seize the cow. I will look for the owner, arrest him, and prosecute him. And we use every force available to make sure it is so. Please make no mistake, there are people who are not happy with the peace we are enjoying in Plateau. So for anybody to say that they will build and destroy, well, let me wait and see the person who will come and destroy anything.
With the agreements reached, it's now expected that all concerned parties will adhere to all the decisions taken and embrace peace for the sake of development.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, we'll turn our attention to the south part of the country, where an armed robbery attempt has been foiled and the Port Harcourt refinery steps up production.